Hello, I'm Jesse Jace from Chorus Isolate Confirm.
And I'm Toshi from Toshi.
Toshi from Toshi. And we're here to talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack.
Yeah, I love it.
Because we both like Final Fantasy VII. I mean, you like a lot of Final Fantasy games.
I like a lot of Final Fantasy. 7's really good.
I like 7 and 7. Mostly just 7. And Tactics.
Tactics, oh my god. I just replayed that, like, for the first time in 20 years.
The old PlayStation one.
Yeah. And it was, just as good as I remember it.
But another thing is, we're both musicians. Did you know that? So, yeah, you did know that you're
I knew that. I knew that I'm a musician.
So we both have opinions about music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I think we're both going to have some opinions about this music from the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Hopefully good ones.
Alright, we're not going to listen to the whole soundtrack because it's 156 songs. 7 discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it down to maybe 40 or so.
It'll be like a 5-hour video, so buckle up, guys.
No, we'll split this into 2 videos. So the first half is on this channel, and the other half will be on the channel linked in the description, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Oh, I gotta get my track list out. This is the part that gets you hyped.
Yeah, it's like exactly on cue. I know this. Yes. Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
This is the magical moment right here.
See, this didn't really do that much for me when I played the original game. But then when I heard it in here, I was like...
That nostalgia blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but then you get Sephiroth in there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you gotta involve him so early? One of the things I like about Final Fantasy VII is that, like, even though it's an RPG, it starts quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it kind of just dumps you in.
Yeah.
And you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
And it's like, go.
Long mission. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. Blow the reactor up.
Yeah. Wait for the synth noise.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's in there.
Should be right here-ish.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Not too bad. A good start, I think.
I feel like it's a perfect orchestrated version of the original, like, theme. It's great. It sounds exactly how I would have wanted it to sound, you know?
Mm-hmm. Did they use a real orchestra?
Oh, yeah.
Lately, it's hard to tell. Like, there's some pretty convincing synths.
Oh, no, there's synth. But, like...
Are they?
The orchestra's... Like, this is orchestra. Like, this is...
Okay.
Yeah. But they mix it together, too. It's cool.
Then that's gonna segue right into, That's right. That's the next track.
Oh.
I wish it started with the piano, but anyway. The piano comes in.
I know what you mean.
There it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have sounded better just with the piano at the beginning. There's been other orchestrated versions of this tune, and all the changes that those versions made over the original are kept in this remake version. So it's kind of cool. Like, it all sounds familiar to me. Like, if you listen to the Distant Worlds version of this, for example.
I did the other day, yeah.
Everything in it that's different from the original is still in the remake version, so it's kind of cool.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, when you're playing the original and you're in this part of the game and you get into a battle, this music just continues, right?
It does.
You don't get dun 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 until later.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the boss fight with the scorpion is still this music.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not...
Nope. You don't get to hear that until later in the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is part of this hype.
It's so powerful. I love it. That's how I actually went to watch the Distant Worlds concert live in San Francisco.
No, did you?
It was amazing. And Nobuo Uematsu was in the crowd with us.
Oh, really?
It was the coolest feeling ever. Yeah.
Wow. I used to say some bad things about his music.
What?
Well,
I love it though. But he made this.
He made this. This is some of his best work. Like, he did some work before this that I thought was not very good. Some of the stuff in Final Fantasy VI and IV, I'm kind of like, eh.
Really?
Well, but he was limited by the hardware.
True.
I'm not a big fan of transposing that down an octave and putting it in strings. It used to be like a synth. Like a really lo-fi synth.
I just remember the
Oh yeah.
You know, in the background there. I don't remember if they kept that or not.
I don't think they did. It's got the right tone.
This part is good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
That was a little too wacky, I think.
You think so?
I think it was too wacky for Mako Reactor.
Yeah, it's just so embedded in my memory. It's weird.
I forgot about that part.
This section right here feels a little bit lacking, in my opinion.
Yeah, in the original, this part was ramped up a little bit. Like, the tension was increasing, not decreasing.
This part sounds better.
This is better. Very understated chorus voice there.
Yeah.
Which was really loud in the original one.
Got a little synth coming in. I heard that. Little synth beats in the background.
Oh, the kind of rhythms?
Yeah. It's cool.
I didn't notice that before.
More synth.
This song does translate really well to like an electronic track. I did a kind of dubstep remix.
Oh, I gotta listen to that.
When you get into a battle in this part of the game, you get track 6.
I feel like they're using motifs from the battle theme.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I like that. They're kind of mixing the two tracks together in that sense.
Yeah. I also like that there are so many different versions of the battle music in the remake, because it would be really easy to get tired of. Well, I mean, the original battle theme is good.
It is very good.
It's probably my favorite Final Fantasy battle theme of the whole series. But it's nice that you hear different iterations of it depending on what part of the game you're in.
Yeah, I agree. Keeps it fresh, keeps everything exciting, you know?
Ooh, weird harmony.
I like it.
We're gonna skip a few.
Okay.
Oh, are you ready for controversy?
Yeah.
There's controversy. It's
Okay.
track 15. Okay, now you're gonna remember this from the original game. Do you remember this?
This is Barret's theme.
It is. Well, this is a variation on Barret's theme.
Yeah.
Barret's theme is usually in a major key.
Right.
This is like the minor key version that plays when you go to North Corel.
Yes.
They took this away from Barret and gave it to Shinra.
I don't know if I like that. I never noticed that in the game.
And by the way, Barret's theme is not in the remake except for this right here. Yeah, he got robbed. There's been a heist, and the victim is Barret.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's controversial. Like, this was a squarely Barret-related track before. I don't remember if this
No
this
pun
track
intended.
square. No, you're
Or
right.
was it intended? Yeah, no, that feels weird having this being a Shinra track without any, like, what's the word I want to use? Without having to do with Barret at all.
Right.
You know? That bothers me.
Yeah, and I don't recall whether, I don't know what scene this plays in
I don't either. I have to replay it to find out.
I forget. I feel like I heard it in the game, though. Because I remember thinking, oh, I remember that song. I didn't really think about where I had heard it before, or whose theme it was. But yeah, Barret doesn't get his own theme, which, if I'm being totally honest, his character theme probably was one of the weaker ones in the original game. All those horns. That's the one.
Yeah, it sounded a little wacky and goofy,
that was
for a character. Barret is pretty wacky and goofy at times, but
I suppose
I'm gonna close this.
Oh yeah, this one.
It's do.
That's the one.
Was it Anxious Hearts or Anxiety or Fuan?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. They renamed it for some reason.
Yeah, they renamed a lot of them.
A lot of little guitar harmonics going on in here. They didn't change it that much from the original.
It's nice. It's nice.
Ooh. That's some kind of guitar with an E-bow or something.
I like it.
Some of the guitar. Sometimes there's good guitar in this, and sometimes the guitar I'm like, it's too much. Not this track. Other tracks that have guitar. Sometimes the guitar is very guitar-y.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm sure we'll hear lots of examples later.
Oh, we will. Oh, yeah. Is this Cloud having a nightmare about Sephiroth or something?
I don't remember.
It seems
it's not a tune that's in the original game.
It is.
Is it?
I remember.
Hold on. Oh, is this the Trail of Blood? This is the Trail of Blood.
Trail of Blood.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean in the original game we don't hear this until the Shinra building?
Yeah.
Well, this is quite early. I think these are in order of appearance.
This is Trail of Blood.
Okay. Like this track, I'm not sure if that's a real orchestra. That might be patches, like synth patches.
This one, I think you're right.
It might be good
for this
patches.
one. Yeah. For this one, I think it's not a real orchestra, but it sounds good.
There's the timpani.
Yes. Gotta have that.
There's a few versions of the main theme that show up in the remake, and I think the first of those is track 20.
Seventh sector. Slums?
Yeah, 7th sector Undercity or slums. This very much reminds me of the Reunion Tracks version.
You don't get to hear this melody at all in the original until after you leave Midgar. I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't show up in any of the open. No, you might be right.
I think so. I think once you go onto the world map is the first time you hear this tune.
It's long too, right?
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes on the original CD. Yeah.
And when you get into a battle and come back out, it continues where it left off.
I think so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd never hear like the last half of it.
Here's where it gets really broad.
Oh, it's key change too.
Yeah, I think it's the same as the original. Same key change.
It's beautiful.
What a good theme song this game has.
It's so good.
It's good.
It's so good. This is why I love Uematsu. So good.
Of course, if you were playing the original game, it would be interrupted every once in a while by...
Oh, piano? It's nice.
Oh, it's good.
That's so good. They had the piano arrangement, like a pretty simple arrangement of the whole soundtrack in book form, like for all the Final Fantasy games, like officially made by Square.
Like separate books?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the first 3 were together in one book because they're such small soundtracks, and then like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like all of them were their own like sheet music books. And I used to own like maybe 7 or 8 of them.
I'm not good at playing piano from sheet music. Otherwise, I might buy it. I'm trying to teach myself the battle theme from 7.
I used to be able to play it. If I had sheet music and a piano, I could like relearn it pretty quick, I think. But Johnny's theme. Now, Johnny didn't have a theme in the original
No,
game.
he did not. Nor does he need one.
I just want to say I love Johnny in the remake. You only meet him like in front of the Honeybee Inn in the original, and he's just like, should I go in? Should I not go in? And that's literally all he says in the whole game. And there are a few other of the same character model like scattered throughout.
Oh, other Johnnies.
Yeah.
Oh no, in the remake he's the star of the show.
Here he goes. Heineke! Oh, Heineke!
What a change of tone. It sounds like the John Spencer Blues explosion.
You know, in all his cutscenes though, I felt like this music fit really well for his personality.
There, little bits of this game reminded me of other games, and like the NPCs, like Johnny, remind me of Shenmue and of the Yakuza games.
I can see Johnny being in a Yakuza game.
How about like a Johnny spin-off?
I know!
Johnny Fantasy VII.
The Johnny Tales. Have that be the first part. The Johnny Tales. Final Fantasy VII.
Or like, doesn't Johnny like go off, like he leaves town?
He says he does, right?
And then he comes back.
Yeah. What did he do?
What happened?
What did he do? We need like a episode Johnny.
We need Johnny
as a DLC.
Johnny Gaiden. Alright, I mentioned earlier that there's a lot of versions of the battle theme, and in my opinion, the best one and most similar to the old game is 24. Yeah.
Woo!
Nandemoyano.
Oh, Nandemoyano Shigoto. Oh, man.
You hear that? Listen.
Yeah! That's the sound. I love that sound, and it's in the original.
Yeah.
And they kept it. And
it's like a like a pitch shifted tambourine or something.
I don't know. It sounds like metal clanking. Like that's what I always associate it with. And what I love is that they could have looped the track here if they wanted to. But they have a whole another section. Yeah.
Which was in the original.
Yeah, it was. And that's what's so impressive. Not even this. It's like after this. The track was so detailed and nice. Like, oh, right here.
This was in the original too.
Yeah.
This part's hard to play on piano.
This is why this track blew me away on the PlayStation. I was like, this music is so cool.
That's where it loops, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I picked this one because it's the most faithful to the original. But like, there are others where there are little turns that are different.
Yeah.
Like little resolutions that you don't expect. But I was like, yeah, but I want to listen to this one. I want the real one.
This is the nostalgic one.
But there are other ones, which is a good thing about the remake. Like, you don't just hear this song over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's better. Like, to have all the different styles too.
Tabi no
Tochude.
Yeah.
This is, if I remember correctly, Tabi no Tochude is where they're in Calm, and Cloud is retelling his story about Sephiroth.
I knew it was a town theme.
Yeah.
That's all I could remember.
Isn't that the one? That's
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear that until, like, Cloud's story time.
In the original game, the melody was like an ocarina or something.
It was!
But in this one, it's kind of... Listen to it. I can't quite identify. I think it's an English horn or a soprano sax or something.
I'm not good with those instruments.
It's some double reed. Kenny G's playing it. like a lower than an oboe. I think it's an
English horn.
English horn, maybe.
Don't quote me on that.
Not my favorite type of instrument, if I'm being totally honest. You know the old joke, what's the difference between an oboe and an onion? No one cries when you chop up an oboe.
That's terrible. I love the sound of an oboe.
Really?
Yeah. I love the sound of an oboe. Oh, there's some...
Yeah, it's real folksy. I don't know if I like that.
Some bongos or something.
It's
Congas
like,
or whatever.
It's like from a Western movie or something. Like they should be on horseback.
I like the ocarina. I think it sounds pretty good though. I like piano with the strings here.
It might be mostly nostalgia that
I think it is.
Yeah. brought me to put this track in the list because I liked this song a lot in the old game.
I did too. I learned it on the piano. It was like one of my go-to songs on the piano.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the book. I lost that book. I let a friend borrow it, and then it got destroyed. Oh. And I was so disappointed that I didn't even want it back.
Your friend destroyed your book?
It was like an animal thing. Like their dog got a hold of it or something.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I was so sad about it. I was just like, it's okay. Just keep it. So I never got it back.
Keep that shredded book.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't put the default version of Tifa's theme on the list, but I did put this one, which is the next one, 26.
Seventh Heaven? Oh.
Yeah, the star of Seventh Heaven. Listen to how smooth.
Okay.
I don't really usually listen to jazz, but listen to some of the chords in this. They're thick and juicy.
Well, anything related to Tifa is gonna be thick and juicy.
I mean...
Ooh.
There's an electric piano? What is that, like a Fender Rode?
That was the guitar.
Guitar and electric piano?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, and they fake you out here, right? Sounds like it's gonna end. But it's not gonna end.
It does sound like it. Oh, the bass?
And the brushes. There's some lounge shit right here.
This is beautiful. I love it. I love this.
They kind of took the melody out. So I think this happens in the background of some scene with speaking. I don't remember what.
So I know Uematsu is credited for the original composition of these tunes, but is he also the one who made each of these arrangements?
I'm not clear on it because when you look at the metadata on these MP3s, some of the ones
various artists.
Yeah, the whole album says various artists,
okay.
And a lot of the tunes that you know from the old game are credited to Uematsu.
Okay.
But then I don't know. Sometimes it's like him and another guy working on a song, but it doesn't say what the role of the other guy was. And then there are tunes that are new for the remake that are totally other people.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He probably just worked on the tunes that he made, That's what I'm thinking. Mainly. I can't.
Mainly, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Probably did some new ones, too.
Sorry.
I think he made Hollow as well. That was
yeah, which is new, but for the
Which is awesome. I love that song. Crazy
motorcycle.
Oh, man. Okay, so...
Ikuze yaro domo.
That's my favorite line of Jessie's.
Does she say that?
Yeah, she says "Ikuze yaro domo." She rolls the R like a yakuza.
I gotta play it in Japanese.
Oh, it's great.
We'll talk about Jessie in a second because I have some things to say.
I like this.
That's from the old one, yeah.
Yeah, it's redone though. It's and it sounds different but still cool.
This takes its time, but it starts to ramp up. Wait for the bass.
So I watched the original trailer for this game where they showed the motorcycle scene, and it showed Jessie, Biggs, and Wedge. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that bass coming in. It's like F-Zero.
Kind of.
And I remember thinking wait a minute, they're not supposed to be here on the motorcycle scene.
I don't remember that part in the old one. I mean, I remember the part, but I don't remember who was there.
No, so in the old one, there's only one motorcycle scene. They faked this out. There's like an extra earlier scene in the remake with the motorcycle.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's why she was in the trailer. Okay. Okay.
There's a weird thing in this track. It's coming up. I like this until we get the weird thing.
This is new, huh? Devil May Cry.
Ride.
Ride. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. The English title is Let's Ride, so I guess they had to say ride over and over.
It's a little bit cringe.
Yeah. Don't you fight, like, you fight a guy on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're gonna fight him again, and you never do.
You never do! Okay, no, you do.
Do you?
Yeah, okay, so Dolce, right? So you fight him on the motorcycle, and I think that's the first time you see him, and you're like, who is this crazy guy? He shows up later when you infiltrate the Shinra base, like that one base, and then you fight him there, and then he says, I'll see you again, my friend. He's my friend, oh! He says that in Japanese. And then that's like the last time you ever see him or hear about him. He's never mentioned again in the whole remake. That bothered me. So
I didn't think about that until just now.
He never is mentioned again after that. And then I think he'll probably be reintroduced in the next part.
He'll show up in Wu Tai.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. My friend!
Oh, I mentioned Jesse. So the next track is Jesse's theme.
Okay. Let's see.
Jesse gets a
right
theme. Oh, I'm sorry.
Midnight
Hold on.
Slider.
I got the wrong. It's 34. There it is.
Jesse, oh damn. Jesse didn't have a theme in the original.
No, she did not. She was hardly a character in the original.
Yeah, it's true.
She's an extra. How do you feel about Jessie being a character?
I like it. She was great in the remake, I thought.
Did you like her from the beginning, or did it kind of creep up on you?
I think I liked her from the beginning.
I see.
Yeah.
She has a catchphrase, yeah? Which is nanchatte in Japanese.
She said it a few times, yeah.
Yeah, in English, do you know how they translated that?
Just kidding.
She goes, psych. And
God.
The first time she said it, I was like, did you say psych? What year is this? And then she said it again, and I was like, okay. All right, you got it.
You're like, okay, that's kind of cute.
All right, now I'm in.
That's kind of cute. I was really taken aback at how, like, pushy she was about trying to get in Cloud's pants.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this girl is off the chain.
Yeah, she really went for it.
This is a really nice theme song.
Listen to how nice. Like, you'd think she was the leading lady of this game.
I like this theme song.
I don't remember when this plays. Probably around the time you bring her back to the...
Her hometown.
To that place in the slums where, like, no men are allowed. Remember that? Wedge is like, no men are allowed in, ever.
Oh, yeah, that was her house, wasn't it?
Yeah, because she's like rooming with some actresses or something.
Oh, right.
Because of that whole subplot that nobody asked for.
Here's my feelings about that. I don't think they needed to add any of this extra subplot.
Mm-hmm. It was already pretty complicated.
But I thought that it turned out good, though. Like, I was worried it was all going to be stupid filler that no one was going to care about. I was like, actually, you know what? This is really interesting stuff. It works, and it doesn't mess with the rest of the story's canon, and I like it.
You didn't think any of it was stupid filler?
Not that I can remember. Like the whole Johnny stuff and the Avalanche stuff.
Some parts I was like, why do I have to do this? 35. Moonlight Thievery. I don't know. You hear that title, you think it's gonna be Yofi or something. I think this is a new track.
Yeah, it is. What's this? Getsuya? Getsuya no Odorobo? Daidorobo?
Oh, is it about the Angel of the Slums, maybe?
Probably. I don't remember what else it would be going for.
Because I think this is before the assault on Reactor 5.
That was surprisingly pretty, like, a long way into the game. I was like, dang.
I'm glad, because otherwise you would have just done like 2 reactors in a row, and it would be like...
Like the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dang, I'm like 10 hours into this game yet, and we haven't even talked about Reactor 5 yet.
So this is like all new material, and it's
This
not.
sounds good, I think.
I like it.
Yeah, this is good. What's that bass? Boom. So you got some real instruments being used, and I think some of these rhythm instruments are synth.
Okay.
That's the feeling I'm getting.
Like there's the one composer in particular who wrote a couple tracks that I really like, and a couple that I really don't like. He's a polarizing figure.
Was Hamauzu
No, not
involved in
his.
this at all?
He was.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
but it wasn't him. It was Suzuki Mitsuto, who has worked for Square Enix for a while.
I think they wrote some music for 11. Because 11 had a lot of different composers work on that. And I
Could
think
be.
they wrote like 2 or 3 tracks for 11.
Okay.
Maybe. Don't quote me on that. There's going to be a lot of this stuff I'm going to say don't quote me on that.
Oh, again, this is new stuff. I think.
So far it doesn't sound like anything on the original.
It's not like really memorable. I just thought it was.
Some of like
Nice.
the percussion in this makes me think of Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. Is this where you're climbing on those rafters and stuff, like going through to
Possibly. That part of the
turning on
game.
the lights and stuff?
Yeah,
or the energy.
The lights thing. That's a part I was thinking when I said like this is kind of a time.
That was
waster.
kind of monotonous. That area felt a little bit much for me. Like in turn, it felt slow.
And there are parts where they force you to go slow because you're walking across a beam.
Yes.
And
yeah.
but there's no danger of falling. It's just making you go slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this feels like manufactured length.
There was a lot of back and forth in that area too. I felt like.
Yeah.
Especially the first time through, because you're not really sure like where you're supposed to go.
Then there's a boss fight with Airbuster 56.
Oh, I loved that fight. 56. Let's see. Track. Yeah, Buster.
There he is. Here's where you hear.
Yes.
What is that called? Sarani Tatakao Monotachi in Japanese?
That's it. Yeah.
There's more than one version of this too in the remake. This is the rock version. There's
This is
an
the
orchestra version too.
Oh, really?
Later in the game.
I
yeah.
forgot. Oh yeah. Build up. I learned this on the piano as well. Back in the
Really?
day.
This is when sometimes Uematsu writes some kind of prog rock tracks.
Yeah.
You can tell he listened to a lot of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yes, those kind of bands.
Ooh, the harmony there. I don't think that harmony was there in the original.
I think you're right.
That's nice. New melody. I like it.
When you played it, did you have it where you would go into menus during the battle, or did you have like keys?
I used shortcuts. Yeah.
I probably should have done that, but I was worried I would do the wrong thing. So
Oh, I did many times.
I was always like, circle, what do I need to do? Even though I don't like turn-based battles, I was like, I'm going to use it to my advantage in this.
No, I love the. Surprisingly, I actually loved the action like flow of the battles, and I just like spammed all my like shortcuts, and I was like, get him! I loved it. Ooh, this is nice.
It's more epic than you
It's like
think.
epic choir. It's like some Latin choir or something.
For Airbuster.
This is a new section. I like it.
I showed my daughter some footage of the original game, and I was like, the battles used to be like this, and I showed her how it's like all menus, and she was like, huh. And then she saw a cutscene where like the characters are walking around, and Cloud, has these arms that get really skinny and then really big, and she was like, his arms are gross. I don't mind it the way it is, but like if I had been in charge of putting the soundtrack together, I would have put together, for example, when there's like an overworld theme that has a variation that's the battle theme. In the game, they kind of seamlessly go into each other.
Yeah.
I would have liked to hear them like that on the soundtrack.
Do that in one track?
Put them in one track where it goes from the regular theme to the battle theme.
And like goes into it.
Yeah.
This is random, but Scott Pilgrim did that. The game. Did you play the game for Scott Pilgrim?
Oh no.
It's like a reskinned version of River City Ransom.
Okay.
With Scott Pilgrim. Anyway, the music was fantastic. Anna Managuchi did the soundtrack to that. And when you're not fighting people, there's like one version with just chiptune. And then when you start a fight, it's the same track continues playing, but then like guitar and drums just kind of like phase in and like continues that way. Yeah, it's awesome. I don't even recognize it anymore.
This is new stuff. Yeah,
it's so good.
It's a marathon of rock. That was one of the tracks in the original.
Yes. Oh, not that one. I think that was Omaya Wadarido. I had both.
There's both. But this is not new, right? This is familiar.
This is from the original, yeah. Wait.
It's a little different. I recognize the chord progression. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
That theme, I think, is from Advent Children. That dun 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 dun.
I remember a very detuned harp sound in the original game, playing that. At any rate, this is the portion of the game where the plot gets too much for me to understand. Like, even the original game was a little too complicated for me, and I was like, what is all this Zack business?
I loved that so much.
Zack. It doesn't need Zack. Like,
it does.
We don't
so
need.
Good.
Cloud doesn't have to be a clone of anything.
Cloud's story is so cool.
Really?
I feel like having the Zack thing in there, it blew my mind, man. Like, Cloud's whole life was a lie, basically. His whole memory was a lie. I loved it. And he overcame it, regardless.
Even though I don't like Aerith.
I don't either. I mean, I like her, but not like that much.
Track 60 is maybe my favorite iteration of the Aerith theme. Flowers blooming in the church.
Nope.
Oh, it's really...
Not yet. They got you.
You know the part I'm thinking of. Doom,
yeah.
doom, 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 doom. There it is.
And the original's like, wah, wah, wah. It had
Yeah.
this weird like sound.
It was the loudest flute I've ever heard. That's what I didn't like about Uematsu back in the day. Like, his old soundtracks are all like that. It's like, here's a tender theme played by the loudest flute you've ever heard, with the loudest clarinet standing right next to him. Just no dynamicism. But maybe because he was limited by the Famicom and the Super Famicom. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, this is nice.
Do you know the, I think it's on both reunion tracks and the, what is it called? Something Worlds?
Distant
Worlds version of the Aerith theme. It ends with this really complicated chords. Like, the whole song stops and then it's like, chord I can't identify, chord I can't identify, finish. In the English version of the remake, Aerith's in-battle quotes get on your nerves.
Like, what does she say?
When you switch to her, she says, "I'll show you what I can do."
Sounds a bit suggestive.
"I'll show you what I can do," and then she raises her eyebrows. It's track 61.
61.
My old favorite.
Pizza no shita de.
This...
I'm glad they kept the pizza line.
Doesn't this remind you of Metal Gear Solid? The
yes.
title screen?
Yes, it's identical.
Oh! It's so good!
It's so good. Okay, hold on. Let me just say, this track was really irritating in the original version.
Really?
Because, like, there's that part where all the chords build and build and build, and there's so much dissonance, and it gets loud, loud, loud. And I was like, no! And then it just all drops out, and the bass, like...
And on the old CD, right? Like, it was one of the few tracks that didn't fade out, because it would just build, 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 and that was the end of the track.
I think so.
On the second loop.
I think so.
I was like, oh, they gave a special treatment to this one.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like the sounds that they went with this. The bass sounds so good.
It's pretty good. I was bopping to this when it came on in the game, in the remake.
Like, I vastly prefer this version to the original one. This is really good. Where now? Where now? Where now? Where now? Where now? So good.
Little extra swells of different chords happening in the back there. The brass.
I hear that, yeah. That wasn't in the original. I love that guitar, right? Or whatever. It sounds like a guitar with some effects.
Yeah, I think it's a guitar. It was a guitar in the original, but it was just a sample of like
acoustic guitar.
Yeah, and it was, you know, PlayStation guitar. So.
Yeah.
This is the part you're talking about.
Yes, and I'm sure the dissonance is still there.
I mean, it's all
together. It's
what do you call it? It's all
layered and like it continues.
Yeah,
but it doesn't sound obnoxiously loud and annoying like the original did. Like, this is fine.
Wait.
That was like the moment of relief for my ears in the PlayStation version.
Maybe it was a little too tense considering you're just walking around Midgard, like, listening to it. Nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
If I have any complaints about this version, it's just like it's a little direct, it's a little close to the original. I don't know.
Oh, I see what
they could have done something more creative with it, but this is pretty good though.
I'm just glad it sounds nicer.
All right, well that's gonna be it for the first half of our look at the Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the other half, part 2, on the other channel. We haven't decided
which channel getting which one.
So the link will be in the description. I'm Jesse Jace.
I'm Toshi Onchi.
See you later.
See you.